Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavatiruttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Omagnanatimidandasya Gnananjanashalakaya. Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chaitanya-manobhishtam स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणरघुनाथानुतं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं राधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणासिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा okay we finished chapter 5 I think yeah we finished chapter 5 one second okay so this chapter is titled Conversation Between Narada and Vyasadeva. So last two chapters we read about appearance of Sri Narada and then Narada's instructions on Śrīmad Bhāgavatam for Vyasadeva. Now further conversation between Narada and Vyasadeva, which we will hear. Sutta Uvacha Evam Nishamya Bhagavan Devarshir Karma Cha Bhuya Paprachatam Brahman Vyasa Satyavati Sutaha. Sutta said, O Brahmanas, thus hearing all about Sri Narada's birth and activities, Vyasadeva, the incarnation of God, and son of Satyavati inquired as follows. Vyasuvacha Bhikshubhir Vipravasite Vijnanadeshtribhistava Vartamano Vayasyadye Tatah Kim Akarod Bhavan. Srila Vyasadeva said, what did you do after the departure of the great sages who had instructed you in scientific transcendental knowledge before the beginning of your present birth? So here Prabhupada writes, Vyasadeva himself was the disciple of Narada Ji. Therefore, it was natural to be anxious to hear what Narada did after initiation. He wanted to follow in Narada's footsteps in order to attain to the same perfect stage of life. This desire to inquire from the spiritual master is an essential factor to the progressive path. This process is technically called Saddharma Pracha. Desire to inquire from the spiritual master is an essential factor. So initiation actually means to become surrendered to the Guru and inquire from him about the progressive path. So here Vyasadeva wanted to follow in Narada's footsteps. He didn't want to copy Narada. He wanted to follow in Narada's footsteps. Why? Because Narada actually achieved perfection. Of course, Vyasadeva has also achieved perfection, but for us, he's teaching that we have to follow in the footsteps of Guru and Acharyas. So how do we follow in the footsteps of Guru and Acharyas? By hearing from them. So hearing is at 3 levels. I don't know if I told this in the last class. Hearing is at 3 levels. First level is information that we read, for example, something and we get information. Second level is to hear from a self-realized soul. Self-realized soul means one who has already actually has realized it, meaning Vijnana. He's experienced it in his life. Third level is to hear from a person who has acquired revealed knowledge. Second is realized knowledge. Third is revealed knowledge. Revealed knowledge means that the person has that knowledge has been revealed by a superior authority. So this is mainly Krishna reveals. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. So revealed knowledge. So like at the end of like when we achieve perfection, or when one reaches even Narada Muni's life, he says, the stage of perfection, the Lord reveals himself to the devotee. And Lord reveals himself. So actually, the devotee then will know exactly what Krishna is, what is this material world, what is his position, everything he'll get revealed. Like Lord Vishnu touched Dhruv Maharaja with his conch shell, and the whole conclusion of Vedic literature was revealed to him, which means Dhruv Maharaj perfectly understood that he is Atma. We are today only theoretically understanding we are Atma, but he actually practically understood, realized that he is Atma. So this is revealed by the Lord, revealed knowledge. So at least we should hear from a self-realized soul. Actually, we are very fortunate because we are hearing from a revealed person who has experienced revealed knowledge, which is Srila Prabhupada. Right? So whatever purport he has given is actually revealed knowledge. So which is why many times we don't understand many of what Prabhupada says, what he writes in his purport, because we have to purify ourselves so much to be able to understand. Otherwise, just by our mental speculation or our strength of intelligence, we cannot understand many things Srila Prabhupada writes, because it is revealed. So he is asking, saying that, and we have to be inquisitive like this. Ask from Guru, understand how he made progress. So we can also follow in the footsteps of Guru, other acharyas, senior devotees, etc. And so whenever we get an opportunity to hear from senior devotees, we should inquire in such a way that we can, follow in their footsteps. And this is essential factor to progressive path. Okay. Swayambhuvakaya vritya vartitam te paramvayah katham chedam mudasrakshihi kale prapte kalevaram O son of Brahma, how did you pass your life after initiation? And how did you attain this body, having quit your old one in due course? So Vyasadeva is asking, how did you pass your life? Pass your life means what did you do after initiation? And how did you attain this body? Hmm. Point five. प्राक्कल्पविषयाम् एतां स्मृतिं ते मुनिसत्तम न ह्येष व्यवधात् काल एष सर्वनिराकृतिः. O great sage, time annihilates everything in due course. So how is it that this subject matter which appeared prior to this day of Brahma is still fresh in your memory, undisturbed by time? Prior to this day of Brahma. So which means that on the previous day, Narada Muni achieved perfection in the previous day. Prior to this day of Brahma is still fresh in your memory. Yes. So spirit is not annihilated even after annihilation. So spiritual consciousness is not annihilated. But of course, here Sri Narada Muni actually specifically remembers what had happened in previous life. That is special mercy. Narada Vacha. Bhikshubhirvipravasite vignanadeshtribirmama vartamano vayasyadye tate tad akarasham. Narada said, the great sages who had imparted scientific knowledge of transcendence to me departed for other places and had to pass my life in this way. In the previous life, when Narada Ji was impregnated with spiritual knowledge by the grace of the great sages, there was a tangible change in his life, although he was only a boy of 5 years. So I said this before also. So when we do sincere, serious Shravanam, then there should be a change in our life. Because by chanting itself, we might not experience change, because we'll experience but not significant change, because we chant in the stage of Nama Aparada. Right? We commit offenses when we chant. So we don't realize, we don't experience the power of the Nama fully. But when we hear attentively, or when we read attentively, attentively means what? We understand the subject matter and we try to apply it in our life, then there will be tangible change. Narada Muni, just by Shravanam, was sincerely hearing from those devotees, and he experienced a tangible change in his life. That is an important symptom visible after initiation by the bona fide spiritual master. So we should see a tangible change in our life after initiation. If not, we have actually not properly taken initiation. Meaning, it's not that Guru doesn't have power. No. It's just that we are not receiving the mercy. Because what does initiation means? Initiation means that we get connected to the parampara. Now, the mercy of the parampara is the acharyas, Guru and previous acharyas are transparent via media of the mercy, which means that the mercy will flow. Meaning mercy is coming to us. Sun is there, sun is shining brightly and sunshine. But we are locking ourselves up in a room and saying there's no sunshine. So the mercy is coming, but we don't want that mercy. So if we have properly taken initiation means with the right mood. Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpan. So if we have fully surrendered to the Guru at the time of initiation, Atma Nivedanam, offering ourselves at his lotus feet. Atma Nivedanam means that everything that I have now belongs to the Guru. My body, my wealth, my family, even my prana, my life air also belongs to the Guru. So that is the proper mode of initiation. If somebody takes initiation in the proper mood, not just because we get a new name, we get a new Japamala, everybody will then, whatever, start respecting us, etc. Not for those reasons. Actual reason is that we have. Why does one take initiation? Why should one take initiation? When Krishna becomes the goal of that devotee's life, and now he is already chanting Hare Krishna. By chanting Hare Krishna, anywhere a person can achieve Krishna, can reach Krishna. Then why initiation? Because we need special mercy. How will we get special mercy? By actually Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasada, by pleasing the Guru. So pleasing the Guru means surrendering ourselves to the Guru. And when we surrender ourselves to the Guru, we get mercy, then we experience tangible change in our life. Actual association of devotees brings about a quick change in life or spiritual realization. So quick change, Prabhupada is writing. Mostly devotees sometimes keep saying, no, taking a long time. I've been chanting for years. I don't see much change. First question that needs to be asked is, how many times have you finished Śrīmad Bhāgavatam? And generally the answer will be, I have not completed Bhagavatam. Then the result is clear that you are not made enough progress. You've just been initiated for years, but you've not absorbed yourself into the mode of initiation. So if we actually properly get initiated, then we should experience tangible change. What is this tangible change? One is in our approach towards life. Krishna consciousness becomes the only goal, not the most important goal. Becomes the only goal. And we become missionary. We should become missionary in whatever way possible. So here, Prabhupada gives like such a revealing purport. Just 4 lines. Okay. Ekatmaja me janani yoshin mudha cha kinkari mai atmajenanyagatau chakre snehanuvandanam. I was the only son of my mother, who was not only a simple woman but a maid servant as well. Since I was her only offspring, she had no other alternative for protection. She bound me up with the tie of affection. So this is common. This tie of affection in the material world. Parents have affection for their children. Children have affection for their parents. Bound me with the tie of affection. That's all. Right. So this is our. So in 13th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that amongst so he's talking about jnana. What is jnana? What are the different aspects of jnana? One of them is to not get too attached to children, wife, family, etc. And for women, children, husband, family, etc. Why? Because this is illusion. Because they are not related to us. They are just temporarily related to this body that I have possessed in this life. So then why are we binding ourselves up with that tie of affection? So this is very important, but generally people get stuck in this. Vishaya chadiya kave shuddha hobe man. So we are bound up with this affection of family, society, etc., etc. So here also, Narada Muni's mother bound him up with tie of affection. Sasvatantra na kalpasid yogakshemam mamechati ishasya hi vashe loko yosha darumai yatha. She wanted to look after my maintenance properly, but because she was not independent, she was not able to do anything for me. The world is under the full control of the Supreme Lord, therefore everyone is like a wooden doll in the hands of a puppet master. But Prabhupada has not written any purport to this. This is a topic discussed in the first verse. Because when describing Krishna, it says Abhigna Swarat. So Krishna is independent. All of us are completely dependent. She wanted to look after her maintenance properly, but she was not independent. Why? Because she is under the full control of Supreme Lord. Therefore, everyone is like a wooden doll in the hands of a puppet master. See, but we don't realize this simple truth. So much of endeavor we put. So much of material endeavor. Thinking that my endeavor is itself will be the cause of my result. But in Bhagavad Gita, we understand there are 5 causes. The most important cause is Paramatma. We are just one of the causes. So we should not think that we are independent and that we put effort, we get result. That I just keep endeavoring more and more and I will succeed. This is all illusion, right? Because everything is under the control of the Supreme Lord. So we are just like dolls. We are dolls, but we think that we are actually the controllers. Aham cha tad brahmakule ushivamstad upekshaya digdesha kala vyutpanno balaka panchahayanaha. When I was a mere child of 5 years, I lived in a Brahmana school. I was dependent on my mother's affection and had no experience of different lands. Basically, nothing he knew. 5-year-old boy, Narada Muni, he had no idea about anything outside world. He just knew his mother. Mother was taking care of things for him. He was in a Brahmana school. That's all his world was. Limited to that, surrounding that school and associated work. That's all. He knew nothing about anything beyond that Brahmana school and his mother and her love and affection. That's it. Now, this is very important to understand because we should think about what is the mood in which Narada, that boy, is growing up, right? He's in such an environment that he just doesn't have connection with anything else in this world. Ekada nirgatam geha duhantim nishigampati sarpo dashat pada sprushtaha kripanam kalachoditaha. Once upon a time, my poor mother, when going out one night to milk a cow, was bitten on the leg by a serpent influenced by supreme time. Just imagine, he's a small boy, 5 years old, and his mother dies. So Prabhupada writes here, we should not get scared by this purport. That is the way of dragging a sincere soul nearer to God. The poor boy was being looked after only by his affectionate mother, and yet the mother was taken from the world by the supreme will. Why? In order to put him completely at the mercy of the Lord. Now we might think that this is unfair. Okay, what do we think about this? Suppose say our life situation, if suppose say we have to face something like this, how will we react? Can I request devotees to please participate? So how will we react to some situation like this?
Prabhuji, I think that it is the karma that I have done in the past or in the present, knowing or unknowing, which is causing these problems.
Okay, but what will be the feeling involved behind?
Devastated. Like,
Devastated.
why me? That
Why
would
me?
definitely come. But yeah, and to convince myself, I'll answer maybe this is the path karma. That that is how, and definitely I'll go in the mercy of Lord, telling why this, why not the other way? Please help me.
Okay. Okay. Others?
He is the chosen one, Prabhu. That is the.
No. I'm asking in our life. We understand Narada Muni's position. What will be our reaction? How will we respond to these things?
Sympathy.
No, to our own life. If
To our-
something
Okay.
drastic happens in our life,
Mhm.
how will we look at it?
Like she said, it's past karmas that we have.
Past karma.
Mm.
Okay.
Immediately we ask why me. So
Why me? Okay. Others?
I think some of the devotees, or maybe if they are not into devotion, they might think, what kind of sadistic pleasure Lord gets
Sadistic pleasure.
by depriving such a small boy out of his mother. And I
Okay.
mean, what kind of Lord is Krishna?
Yeah.
Like sometimes that thought might come. In fact, it has come to a lot of my relatives. There's a real incident happened in my life where one of my close uncle, he lost his son. He was not 5 years old. In fact, he was 7 years old, I think. And he was a devotee, and then he started throwing all the photos of the Lord on the altar.
Oh.
Yeah, so sometimes these kind of reactions also happen.
Yeah, we lose faith. Yeah. Okay. I want us to go into this. Why am I asking this question? I want all of us to think. Put ourselves in Narada Muni's footsteps, like in his shoes. Right? Such a helpless situation, right? So helpless. I mean, I wanted you to think about his so helpless. Nobody to look up to. Nobody. He had just one mother in this whole world. That's it. And he lost his mother. So pure devotees will always look at this and say, this is the mercy of the Lord. This is the mercy of the Lord. But it's so difficult to understand. But when we look at it from just our vantage point, our limited vision, then it'll all look like suffering and difficulty and all that. But when we look at it from Krishna's vantage point, from his position, why is he letting something like this happen in the life of a devotee? Obviously, the answer is that it is for ultimate higher purpose, higher good. But we can't digest this. We just can't digest this. Right? We just like all of you said, why me? I do so much of service for Krishna. Why me? Why do I have to go through this? So we never look at it from a higher perspective, right? All of us, the way we look at our life is material viewpoint, material vision. Yes, of course. I mean, karma is also material, right? When we look at our life and we say, okay, this is my karma phala, that is material. We have to look at it from spiritual perspective. We have to look at it from Krishna's perspective. A pure devotee will not, of course, he will say, okay, I had to suffer more. He will not say, okay, it's just my karma phala. Pure devotee will say, I had to suffer more. Krishna has reduced my suffering. So in a pure devotee's life, always any incident is directly connected with Krishna and his mercy. That is why Prabhupada is not seeing this, and his purport is saying this is the way of dragging a sincere soul nearer to God. Because this is to put him completely at the mercy of the Lord. Which materially we will look at it and say this is helplessness. Right? But Prabhupada is saying this is to receive the complete mercy of the Lord. In fact, this is Lord himself dragging Narada Muni towards himself. Right. So that is why when we read the purports, right, see, we should think about it from like why Prabhupada is saying this. How can somebody think that this is like mercy of the Lord? Because it is the mercy of the Lord. And then, okay, that is the mercy of the Lord for Narada Muni, who lost everything, who lost his only mother, who was everything that he knew in this world. Then why are we cribbing for small things? Right? So we can understand where we stand. Then we'll say, oh, no, that is because Narada Muni is so great. Then why Śrīmad Bhāgavatam? Why Narada Muni is narrating this to Vyasadeva? Like in the previous verses we saw, because we should get inspired and follow in their footsteps, meaning we should learn these great souls. They already have certain way of, they're already, their approach to every situation is first class. So we can look at them and learn, saying that, can I build this kind of thought process in my life? Very amazing. I mean, 2 lines, these 2 lines can shake us up, dragging us sincere. Now, obviously, then next question will come, oh, should I become a sincere soul? Will Krishna drag me towards him by creating a situation like this? Then am I ready for it? Can I deal with it? Isn't it? Didn't that thought come to your minds? Saying that, no, I don't know. I mean, do I want to become a sincere soul? What is the thought? Should we become sincere souls or no? Danger. Hare Krishna.
Scary, Prabhu.
Huh?
I said it's scary.
Scary, yes. Scary. So what do we do? Top Bhagavatam class today. Here only. Huh?
It is scary, but I think Krishna will handhold us and will guide us and give us the strength.
But why is it scary?
Because somewhere we don't know if we are ready to face it, or we don't have that confidence.
Okay, one step before that. Can you, in your thought process, why is this even scary?
Because we are so much attached to this material world and material desires.
Yeah.
So coming out of it is kind of, maybe we are not ready for that yet.
That is the key.
And I guess
Tell me.
right now we are in a comfortable position, and then maybe it could deteriorate, or it could be something little lesser than where we stand. So
now we know actually, why bhakti, what is bhakti, what is pure devotional service? What is pure devotional service? What is the goal of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam? What is the goal of our parampara? Pure devotional service. What is pure devotional service?
coming out of material entanglement and
pure devotional service means unmotivated devotional service to the Lord. Meaning doing devotional service just for the pleasure of Krishna. Isn't it? This definitions and all should be like sitting in our heads. Pure devotional service means just Krishna's happiness, Krishna's satisfaction. We do devotional service to please Krishna. That's all. Right? Anya abhilashita shunyam. No other material desire. But we are somewhat also thankful to Krishna about our comfortable material situation. But we also are attached to that material situation. Isn't it? So is it anya abhilashita? So is there a motive apart, any other motive apart from just pleasing Krishna in our bhakti? So this we have to think. We should have faith in Krishna. Ananya Shintanto ma yejana patipasate. Tesha Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. Krishna says, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vradam Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami. So our suffering is because of Sarva Papebhyo, all our previous sins. Krishna is saying Mokshayishyami. That means that we don't have faith in Krishna. Isn't it? We don't have faith in Krishna. We are attached to our material situation. We are doing bhakti, but somewhere behind we are thinking, no, Krishna should maintain. And in fact, he should better my material situation, isn't it? Is there anybody here who will be happy with their material situation? Just playing, it's okay, let this only be. I don't want any promotion. I don't want any increase in pay. I don't want anything else. So we should understand. That is why we should read Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. That's why we should associate with those devotees who are living this. Then we can understand. Prabhupada wanted, ISKCON is for pure devotional service, not for mixed devotional service. Not to go and stand in front of Krishna and ask, like we were doing, right? Before coming to, at least I was doing, before I came into Krishna consciousness. Our house deity is Lord Balaji. So Tirupati we used to go. Every time we go, stand in front of the Lord, make prayers, long list. Every Saturday I used to go to Venkateshwara temple, pray. Krishna, Balaji, please give this, Govinda. So that is business which was going on. But in ISKCON, there's no scope for business. Because that's not pure devotional service. So when we hear something like this, we feel frightened, right? But look at this. This is what we should focus on. Material situation is anyway temporary, and this whole material world is temporary. My body is temporary. Everything is temporary, but still I'm attached to all these things. Now, if suppose say I am going to get the mercy of Krishna, am I ready to receive mercy or no? How many of us here want mercy of Krishna? Rhetorical question. Everybody will raise hands saying, I want mercy of Krishna. If you want mercy of Krishna, then why are we hesitant to receive the mercy? Isn't it? So we should not be hesitant to receive the mercy. We should wholeheartedly be ready. Krishna, whatever, I want you. See, if that is the only thing we want in our life, then we will not be afraid. Then we'll say, it's okay. Krishna is there. Krishna knows why he is doing whatever he is doing. But if we have other goals in life, then it will become difficult to think of these things. Then it becomes scary. Let's see what Narada Muni does in this situation. Tada tad ahamishasya bhaktanam sam abhipsataha anugraham manyamana pratishtham dishamuttaram. I took this as the special mercy of the Lord. Narada Muni. Why? Because Lord always desires benediction for his devotees. So thinking, I started for the north, towards Himalaya. Lord always desires benediction for his devotees. Confidential devotees of the Lord see in every step a benedictory direction of the Lord. what is considered to be an odd or difficult moment in the mundane sense is accepted as special mercy of the Lord. Mundane prosperity is a kind of material fever, and by the grace of the Lord, the temperature of this material fever is gradually diminished, and spiritual health is obtained step by step. Mundane people misunderstand it. Powerful 4 lines. Amazing, right? He just took it as special mercy because Lord desires benediction for his devotees. He is not our enemy. Krishna is not our enemy. Confidential devotees see that in every step there is a benedictory direction. That it is a vara only. It is benediction. Krishna is helping us, bringing us closer to him. It's a special mercy. And mundane prosperity, like you were talking, is a kind of material fever. So this fever should reduce gradually. This fever of mundane prosperity should reduce. And spiritual health is obtained step by step. Mundane people misunderstand it. So, any thoughts? Amazing, amazing 2 verses. Is it okay? Digestible now?
Yes, Prabhu.
So nice, that is why when we read the lives of great devotees, I mean, one is we can feel dejected, saying, oh, where am I? The other is we can feel so enthused, saying, oh, Krishna will take care. Krishna is there with us. In every stage, in every phase of our life, in every situation in our life, Krishna is with us. If we believe that he is with us, this is the beauty about Krishna consciousness. It totally depends on our faith. If we think Krishna is there with us, Krishna is there. If we think Krishna is not there with us, Krishna will say, okay, you don't want me to be there, I will not be there. Why should I disappoint you? So it's very, very important to have faith in Krishna. Very, very important. Ado Shraddha. Tatha Sadhu Sangha. So that faith, and Prabhupada writes in one of the purports saying, Bhakti is the process of actually gradually increasing our faith. Our faith has to increase in Krishna. Irrespective of whether our life goes smoothly or ups and downs, we should not lose faith. Because whatever Krishna is doing is to reduce this fever. Vishaya chadiya kabe shuddha hobe man, Narottam Das Thakur says. Gauranga bolite habe ulaka sharira. Hari Hari bolite na yane babenira. Arka benita chande karuna hoive samsara basana mora kabe tuchabe vichaya chariya kabe yuddha bemana kabe hamahe rabbo Shri Vrindavana Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akhuti Kabe Ham Buja Bose Jugala Piriti Rupa Raghunatha Pade Rahumora Asha Prarthana karo he sada Narottam dasa. It's so beautiful, this is. Narottam Das Thakur is saying, Ar kabe nitai chander karuna hoibe, samsara basana mora kabe tuchcha hoibe. Samsara basana, this attachment to this material thing, samsara, mora, my attachment, kabe tuchcha hobe. When will it become insignificant? When will I come out of this nonsense? Why? Because Vishaya Chariya Kabe Shuddha Bemana. When we leave, give up Vishaya means material things. Chariya, when we give up, Shuddha Bemana, mind will become purified. Kabe Hama Hera Bo Sri Vrindavana. When will I be able to see Sri Vrindavan? Because we cannot see Sri Vrindavan if we are materially contaminated. Isn't it? Or Prabhupada translates saying that being freed from material anxieties and desires. When the mind is completely purified, being freed from material anxieties and desires, then I should be able to understand Vrindavana and the conjugal love of Radha and Krishna. Then my spiritual life will be successful. So this should be our, direction, some kind of milestone. Come out of this material attachments, because it's not going to give us Radha Krishna. Because then the question really is, do we want Radha Krishna? Do we really want Radha Krishna? Do we badly want Radha Krishna? We can answer at different levels of, intensity. Yeah, I want Radha Krishna. Okay. At what expense? At what price? No. Everything else should also be in okay. Then along with that, if I get Radha Krishna, then I'm happy. Okay, conditional. No, I want Radha Krishna irrespective. Let whatever happen. I don't care. I just want Radha Krishna. There are t-shirts, you might have seen, right? I lost my heart in Vrindavan. Once Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, he said, you should not put such things on the t-shirt. No way we can lose our heart in Vrindavan. If we lost our heart in Vrindavan, we won't be here. We won't be doing these things that we are doing today. Right? So just simply externals. We should not be at the externals. We should go internal. Understand where our deep attachments are. Try to come out of it. Devotional service means actually ultimately we have to come out of all these material attachments, right? That's what Narottam Das Thakur is saying. Vishaya Kadiye Kabe Shubdha Hobe Mana. When we give up this Vishaya, these material things, then mind will become purified. Then we can see Sri Vrindavana, we can see Radha Krishna, we can achieve perfection. And so confidential devotees always see that everything Krishna is doing is to take me towards that goal. Why material fever has to be reduced. Otherwise, spiritual health will not be regained. That means that I will not achieve my goal. So beautiful. I mean, this is why, I just love Prabhupada's purpose. One statement just like puts you into a spin. Will be like, where am I? Where am I stuck? And how do I get to this stage? It's so beautiful. Okay, anybody has anything to say? Can stop here. Okay, I'll just finish these few verses. We'll do till 15. Spītāņjanapadāṃ puragrāmā vrajakarān thetah karvatavātīscha vanānyupavanāni cha. After my departure, I passed through many flourishing metropolises, towns, villages, animal farms, mines, agricultural lands, valleys, flower gardens, nursery gardens, and natural forests. So Prabhupada also again gives some beautiful insight here. After getting an impetus in spiritual life, Narada Muni, even though mere child, did not waste time for a single moment with economic development. Although he passed towns, villages, mines, industries, he continually went to the progressive spiritual emancipation. He did not waste a single moment with economic development. And we are spending so much of time behind this economic development. So that is Narada Muni. This is where we are. Okay. Chitradhatu vichitradrin bhagna bujatruman jalashayan chiva jalan nalini surasevitah chitra swanai patra rathair vibramad pramarasriyah. I passed through hills and mountains full of reserves and various minerals like gold, silver, copper, through tracts of land with reservoirs of water filled with beautiful lotus flowers, fit for the denizens of heaven, decorated with bewildered bees and singing birds. So this is basically, one is paisa, right, wealth. The other is natural beauty, holiday, international holiday, national holiday, trying to enjoy the nature, right? The other is material possessions. So he went through all this, but he didn't get stuck anywhere. He didn't get stuck anywhere. His goal was very clear. Nalavenu sharas tanba kushakki chakagahvaram eka evati yatoham madraksham vipinam mahad ghoram pratibhayakaram vyaloluka shivajiram. I then passed alone through many forests of rushes, bamboo, reeds, sharp grass, weeds, and caves, which were very difficult to go through alone. I visited deep and dark and dangerously fearful forests, which were the play-yards of snakes, owls, and jackals. Right? Scary. Totally scary situation. The duty of a mendicant, Prabhupada is saying, Paribrajaka to experience all varieties of God's creation by traveling alone through all forests, hills, etc. To gain faith in God and strength of mind, as well as to enlighten the inhabitants with the message of God. So two things. Sannyasi himself does all this to increase faith in Krishna. To increase faith, become strong in mind, and also to preach. Grahastha also has to do this. Whenever there are situations, he has to develop more faith, he has to become strong in mind, and he also has to preach by his own action. One should take the vow to stop social intercourse completely and devote life exclusively to the service of the Lord. The change of dress is only a formality. So one should take a vow to stop social intercourse completely and devote life exclusively to the service of the Lord. Now, when we read these things, if you think, no, how can I do that? Okay, then Varnashrama system, and then Grahastha, Vanaprastha. But others who will see this and say, wow, this is amazing. Okay, let me just dedicate my life to Krishna. Okay, done, great. Right? But for others, at least if not today, tomorrow, the whole process of Varnashrama is to eventually give up our material activities, give up that attachment to those activities, stop those activities. Right? But today's material world, unfortunately, doesn't encourage or doesn't even take us in this direction. So it is actually scary. Okay, last verse for today. Parishantendriyatmaham pritvarito bhubukshitaha snatva pitva hriday nadya upasprushto gatashramaha. Just traveling, I felt tired both bodily and mentally, and I was both thirsty and hungry. So I took a bath in the river lake and also drank water. By contacting water, I got relief from my exhaustion. Okay, so we'll stop here because this one is getting into his sadhana that he did. Okay, so if anybody has, okay, so tomorrow we will not be able to do class because I have cooking seva at home. My Dharma Patni is not in town, so I won't be able to do this. So we'll meet next week. Any questions from anybody? Anyway, our participation is slowly dwindling, so I don't know when it will. I'll be the single person speaking and hearing. Any questions from anybody?
Why are the devotees called confidential devotees?
confidential devotees means that they are, they know exactly why Lord does what, right? So confidential pastimes, meaning it is not understood by everybody. Confidential message, meaning it's only known to few select people or few chosen people, right? As in, they're very dear and near and dear ones to the Lord, because they can understand exactly what Lord is doing. While the whole world will think in different direction, those devotees we exactly know, no, this is why Krishna is doing this. So they're very confidential. It's confidential act only can be understood by such confidential devotees. And Lord will reveal to them also. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. It doesn't happen to all devotees, right? So those devotees are special.
Prabhu, one question. So while we may have to renunciate a lot on the material side, and then devote ourselves to the spiritual, like how do we upbring our kids? Like should we, while I know that spiritual and devotional aspects should be there in their lifestyle, but should we stop them from any other activities, like maybe going to sports, uh, things like this, or we should not do that at this moment for them?
Yeah. Okay. So very important question. So two things, right? See, first thing is actually we should not think about bhakti as the path to renounce things. Actually, we are not here to renounce things. We are here to actually become attached to Krishna. When we become attached to Krishna, naturally we will renounce. Meaning the focus is not to renounce. But because when we develop attachment to Krishna, naturally everything else will become distasteful. It is a natural process, right? But the problem is we don't develop that attachment to Krishna. That is where the problem is. Then this all looks very difficult. Oh, detachment. We hear these things, we'll think like, oh, somebody is like really pulling me out of my happiness, comfort zone, etc. Now that is because we've not developed attachment to Krishna. So that is the first point, right? So we are not here to renounce. Actually, bhakti is not the process to renounce. Gnana is the process to renounce. Give up, give up, give up, give up. We don't renounce. We engage everything in Krishna's service. Yukta Vairagya. That is Falgu Vairagya. So bhakti, we don't renounce. We just develop attachment to Krishna. Automatically, other things become distasteful. So it's not important for us. We don't feel like doing it. Right? That is number one. Number two, with respect to children, very important question. See, actually, the way, okay, so there are multiple schools of thoughts for this, right? And it totally is, individuals' route that they choose to take. Obviously, the ideal is to not, what is the Bhagavatam says, it's the duty of father, mother to make sure that this is the last material birth for their children. So that has to become significant part of our training for them, right? That you have to become a devotee and perfect your life. That message has to be loud and clear. Now, what other things we should, kind of guide them? So this depends on the nature of the child. So if the child is naturally sattvic, devotional, don't push the child in a materialistic direction, right? It's just because we think that, okay, this is how we have to live material life, we should not push the child in that direction. And it's a very simple thing. Like what I'm saying is, like today, nowadays, parents are, pretty open-minded. They say, okay, I am an engineer, but it's okay. I don't want my son or daughter to become an engineer. Let them become whatever they want, right? It's the same thought process. Right. Also, in that, amongst those various options in life, also add one called pure devotional service. And if the child is, has natural propensity towards that, encourage the child in that direction. Don't pull the child and push them artificially into something else just because we think that we have to do it that way. Right. And some children they have, like example, my daughter was born before we came into Krishna consciousness. So we were not devotees, and she's not a devotee, right? So So we can't like completely lock her up. So we are letting her go in the direction that she wants, but we are parallelly trying to help her understand, saying that this one, Krishna is very fortunately creating difficult situations for her in her life. When she's having to think about these things, saying, oh, okay, this is tough. Devotion and Krishna is the only hope in life. So while she has a direction of her own, because we don't want her to take the material route, but we can't like physically stop her or forcefully stop her. Krishna is creating situations for her to realize that even though she is going in a direction which is not directly coming to Krishna, Krishna is making her realize that, see, this is what it is. This is this dirty material world. Better surrender to me. Right? But if some children are so naturally, their propensities for bhakti, you should just simply happily encourage them without having any kind of reservation, saying, no, 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 how will they grow up? What will they do? This is lack of faith. This is lack of faith, right? Even if suppose say somebody studies something or does something materially, what is the guarantee that they'll live a happy life at the end of the day, right? It's just lack of faith. So we should just have faith in Krishna, saying, yeah, Krishna will take care. I'm surrendered. I'm depending on Krishna. I'm giving my child in his, putting her her or him at his lotus feet, and then he will take care. So that's how I would approach from a practical perspective. Like I said, there are different schools of thoughts.
Right. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Okay. Should we close?
That just reminds me one of the conversation I had with my younger daughter, Prabhuji. I don't know suddenly what happened to her. She asked me one question like, at the end of the day, we all will go out of this world without taking anything with us. Then why people are pushing us like steady, do that, do this? What is that we are achieving? Why we cannot just pray God, even go to temple, eat prasadam, and just be with the God instead of stressing ourselves so much? I really did not have answer. I just said one thing, though we are devotees, at the end of the day, world needs monetary. So whatever we earn, at least we put our efforts, earn and give it to the Lord and do save us. At least that will help. That's the only thing I could say, but not more than that.
Yeah, especially for girls. No, I mean, I would be so happy to see, girls being just, like I keep saying, right? The whole culture, devotion, everything is in their hands, right? And I mean, even today in the country, it's not like, there are, of course, I mean, girls have to get married, etc. It's not like every boy in the world wants a working lady, right? It's there, but there are also, I mean, it's also natural to say, okay, I'm okay to have a person who's not working. So it's not like, profession and, going in that direction and giving up all this is not anyway, and men anyway, inevitable, right? So they have to figure out some way of livelihood, right? And but this is an added advantage for girls in this age, that they can actually become Krishna conscious and achieve perfection. And like I said, it's just our viewpoint saying that we have to become independent, everybody has to earn money. This was not there a few years back, right? It's just our thought process right now, because we think that's how it is. We think that without money we cannot be happy, that both husband and wife have to earn, etc., etc. I know so many people who get married and their like spouse is in America, and there's no way they can work there, right? They're just housewives, right? And they're happy. I mean, like, it doesn't really, I mean, this is not the only way. That's the point I'm making, right? So if they have natural propensities towards bhakti, you should encourage them, right? And no point in putting pressure, because then our actions and speech become opposite, right? Then they will not understand. Say, what is this? On one end they're saying do bhakti, on the other end they're saying also become material. Then they would have heard these things, right? You kids are smart,
Yeah,
right? Then we'll only get stuck.
true, Prabhuji.
So finally it comes down to faith in Krishna and what he's saying.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Close. Okay, thank you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti vaishnavebhyo jai jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Namaskar.
Krishna. Dandavat to
Hare Krishna,
everybody.
Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare
Dhanavada.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.